And here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn one string really well first. You want to take one string at a time and learn it all the way up and down. And the important thing to do is learn the order of chromatic notes. Chromatic just means all. In other words, if we're playing every single note, one after the other, without skipping any frets, we're going to play E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D sharp, and E. When we get to that 12th fret, that E is the same as our open E. Same letter name. Same goes for any string. If you start on B and you go through all the notes, you should end up on B when you get to the 12th fret, because there's only 12 different notes, then we just repeat. So what you need to do is learn all the notes on one string really well first. It's good to learn the E string, because once you learn the E string, guess what? You also know that E string, so you're 1/3 done with all the strings. So let's start with the E string. Okay, so notice that sometimes I had a sharp after a note and sometimes I didn't. That's important to remember. When we start with E, our very next note is not E sharp, but it's F. Not to say that you won't encounter E sharps and B sharps and C flats and F flats, but those are something called enharmonic equivalents, which we'll get into in a theory lesson. For now, we're going to call this E, this F. 99% of the time, that's what those notes will be called. Okay, so continuing on. After F, we have to go to F sharp first, then G, then G sharp. Okay, now stop right there. That's 5 notes, right? That's E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Now, when you're studying for something in school, or maybe you're still in school, you might have done flashcards before. And that's really a very good way to learn these notes. So what we're going to do is say the name of a note and have you find it as quickly as you can. So if I say E, you're going to play E. If I say G, you're going to play G with your ring finger. If I say F, you're going to play F. If I say G sharp, F sharp, so on and so forth. I'm going to really mix them up. I'm going to say the name, you're going to play it, and then I'm going to play it right after you to see if you got it right. I'm going to go kind of fast, so get ready. So E, G, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, F, E, G sharp, F, E, G sharp, F sharp, E, G. Okay, so how did you do? Hopefully you didn't do too badly, because we have only 5 notes to worry about. But now we're going to add another 4 to the soup here. So we're going to come up to the 5th fret and play A. Now notice the last note was G sharp, and then the next is A. In case you don't know, we have only 7 different letters in music: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After we go through our G, we need to start back on A again, so that note is A. So we have our G sharp to A. Okay, so here are the 4 new notes: A sharp, B, and C. Notice no B sharp, we go straight to C. Same thing, E to F, B to C. We have no B sharp for now. Okay, so A sharp, B, and C. Got it? Okay, let's try this. Let's quiz this. So play an A, B, A sharp, C, B, A sharp, A, C, B, C, A sharp, B, A, C. How'd you do? Hopefully not too bad. Only 4 more notes, but now what we're going to do is kind of tricky. We're going to combine all those notes from the 0 open string all the way to the 8th fret. Okay, so to review, we have E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and C. Okay? Backwards, that was C, B, A sharp, A, G sharp, G, F sharp, and F. Okay. Use any finger that you have to. You don't have to use the ones that we use because we're going to be dancing all over the place. So how about an A? How about an F sharp? C, A sharp, E, G sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, E, C, G flat. Wait a minute, what's G flat? Okay, I kind of threw a wrench in there for you because we haven't had any flats yet. Now, a flat is the same thing as a sharp, but we use the letter above to describe it. In other words, we have an F sharp here, but that note is also G flat. In other words, if this is G, that's G flat because it's G but lower one fret, just like this is F but higher, so F sharp. F sharp and G flat are the same things. And didn't mean to throw that one at you, but gotta learn your flats sometimes, so why not now? Okay, so A flat, G, G flat. If you get the hang of it. How about C? B, B flat, G, F, A sharp, also called B flat, right? How about A sharp? I just said that, hopefully you didn't move. A, F sharp, G, C, E, B flat. Okay, so how did you do? If you're staying with me, then you are doing wonderful because we only have 4 more notes to go and we have all the notes from E to E. The ones up here we'll get to also, but it's going to be a lot easier, trust me, once you know these very well. From the 12th fret down to the open string. Okay, so our last 4 notes are C sharp, D, D sharp, and high E. I'm going to say high E for this one, and if I want you to play the open, I'll say just E. Okay, so again, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. Also, those could be called D flat, D, E flat, and E. Maybe it might be easier for you to think about starting with this E, E flat, because those are right next to each other. E and E flat is lower. Then we get to D, then we go down to D flat. It's easy to think of flats when you're descending and sharps when you're ascending. Let's just do those 4 only. Okay, so C sharp, D flat. Should be the same note, right? Okay. E, E flat, D flat, D, E, D sharp, C sharp, D, D sharp, D flat, high E. Okay, so now we're going to use all the notes from open to 12, and this time I will say E or high E. So we know to play E or high E. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to put them all together. E, high E, A, C, F sharp, B, G, A sharp, B, D flat, D sharp, A flat, G flat, E, C, B flat, D sharp, high E, C sharp, B, F, G sharp, F sharp, A. So, after you go through this video, maybe a couple of times, you will have this E string mastered. And not only will you have that E string mastered, you can work on the low E and play along with this same video. You'll hear me playing the high note while you play the low note. So it'll sound okay together, but it'll sound something like this. As we go through the notes. But you can tell that as long as you play the note of the same letter, even though it's a lower version of that note, it'll work fine. So when you hear me calling out E and C and A, you can learn this low string as well and just play along as I play the high notes. And you'll have a third of the notes on the guitar mastered. Again, above the 12th fret we will get to, but just so you know, there's a lot of repetition up here. In other words, since that's an E, you can look at this 12th fret as if it's the nut, which is this part of the guitar right here. And even though this is the 13th fret, I like to just think of it as the 1st fret, because I know that's an F, so this is an F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and the dots are set up in the same way, so I can think of this as my 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th, just like I have my 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. So your markers, if you get used to thinking of 3 here, and knowing that 3 is G, then you'll know that this 3 is also G. If you know that this 7th fret is a B, you'll know that the 7th fret up here, which is really the 19th fret, is also a B. So once you get through learning the notes on the E string, open through 12, and the low string, open through 12, I would say the next thing to do would be to go up on the high part of the E string and learn 13 all the way up to the highest note. You may have a high E. This guitar only goes up to the 22nd fret, which will be a D, same as the 10th fret here. So I wish you luck in your quest to learn the names of the notes. Trust me, it will be an invaluable thing to know, because everything you do from this point on will rely on your knowledge of the names of the notes on your guitar. It's like learning how to spell, or trying to learn how to read without learning how to spell. It's really not going to be very productive if you don't learn the alphabet first. So learn all these note names and continue on with your music theory and guitar playing. Thanks for watching.